What is going on, people? Back with another video. I know it's been almost 3 weeks, almost a month since I did a video over here. Just been taking a step back from football. So yeah, I just been watching from a distance because I've been a little burnt out. But nevertheless, the draft is about to come up, so we're going to talk a little bit about the draft. We're also going to talk about this Shannon Sharpe situation, which I find really, really disappointing, and give my thoughts and opinions on all of that. So let's get right into this. First and foremost, the Atlanta Falcons, what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to go defense, or they're going to trade back and still go defense. I don't think there's a real reason to actually go offense anywhere on the anywhere during the draft. The defense was pretty abysmal. It was pretty bad, or whatever the case may be. So I think they should go all defense. Also, I think Kirk Cousins is on the table to be traded, probably maybe a third to a fifth round pick, I think. But a team has to be willing to take on that $20 million as far as salary. So what I think is going to happen is, if they can find somebody to trade, he will be traded. But at the same time, this is a good problem to have in the quarterback situation. I mean, if Kirk Cousins is healthy, this works out. You got Penix, you got Easton Stick. You're looking pretty good right there. But all in all, I expect the Falcons to go defense, probably trade back to get more picks, or just stay where you're at and trade Cousins if a viable situation comes up. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into this other topic. I don't know the whole details with Shannon Sharpe, and none of us do. You only hear what you hear in the media. But I would just say this. I'm not saying yay or nay, guilty, not guilty, or whatever the case may be. Men, and then this is going to be some serious talk. Men, don't put yourself in these type of situations. This man, Shannon Sharpe, he's in his 50s. The person was 19, 22 years old, somewhere around there. The age is not the thing. You're dealing with somebody who is on the internet promoting their body, because I think she has an OnlyFans. And this is the type of person you really don't want to be around as far as doing these type of things. Every time I hear about it, and I know I don't hear about this a lot, and maybe there are some success stories, I'll say that guys who deal with OnlyFans models and, basically live to tell about it financially, or, not so financially, if you know what I mean. Fellas, find you, OnlyFans, I just put it like this, OnlyFans is a fantasy, and leave it there. Guys, find a woman that is equally yoked to you, even if it doesn't matter if you done been down that road before. Find somebody who's equally yoked to you or with you before you engage in these type of activities, so you don't have to deal with paying off somebody or doing this, that, and the third, NDAs, this, that, and the third. If you got to do an NDA with somebody, more than likely that person is not for you anyway. And I know some people say, oh, but you don't have the money. It doesn't matter if you have the money or not. You're a man. And women are attracted to men. I mean, most of them anyway. A good bit of them anyway. And men are attracted to women. Most of them anyway. A good bit of them anyway. And what happens is, if you can get anything that you want, if you find someone that is equally yoked and wants your best interest, and you don't have to pay them. You're talking to a guy who's been married for 10 years. Hand kind of ashy, right? But I've been married for 10 years. And I know whatever I want to do with my wife, it's going to be more yes than no. With, that's a little bit of TMI. But you can get that with the person you really want to be with. Take the time and be with somebody for at least a couple of years. I'll say at least a couple of years, because nowadays it's different than where it was 10 years ago. At least a couple of years, and build something with that person. If you're in your 50s and you're going after somebody like what Shannon Sharpe went after, you either got too much time on your hands, or you have these desires that you just want to live out. And like I said, that's fantasy. Leave that in the fantasy world. And in some cases, if you find somebody that's equally yoked to you, a good person, you'll probably be able to do all of that without signing NDAs or paying anybody off. because now Shannon Sharpe is, I don't know what the whole outcome's going to be, because I don't know if this stuff is true or false, but just the fact that it's out in the public, you know, your reputation is kind of tarnished, dog. Like, I remember, like, back when nobody could tell me nothing, but I started to see things differently when I saw Tiger Woods go through his situation. And Tiger Woods was like the guy that you would, you know, put on this pedestal, because at one point Tiger Woods was like squeaky, squeaky, squeaky clean. And when he had his situation with his back then wife, I don't believe anything anymore. I believe anybody could be who they say they're not. Anybody could be differently. So when I looked at the situation with Shannon Sharpe, I was like, oh, okay, that happened. And when I heard about Tony Busby, I was like, oh, okay, it's Tony Busby, so I don't believe this at all. It's not because of, you know, what I just said about Tiger. It's just that Tony Busby is an ambulance chaser. So I don't believe nothing what he says. You know, he could be, I mean, look at what happened with Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? But when I found out that there's like some tapes out there, and then, you know, they say some tape out there, and then they say that he tried to settle for $10 million. That's when I was like, you know what? See, this is why I don't put nothing past anybody anymore, because that right there lets me know something happened. And you should not be in a situation to have to, you should have to be in a situation where you're back in a corner to do something like that because something happened. Whatever happened, hey, we was on it, and everything was free. You know what I'm saying? This, like I said, I've been married for 10 years, and most of the stuff, you know, I don't try to get into that weird stuff, so I never would dare not ask my wife to do anything outside of, you know, what you would normally would think. But if I was to ask my wife for, you know, whatever, you know, it is what it is. That's my wife. I know her, and I know what to ask her, what not to ask her. You know, I mean, those are the type of things. And normally when you have to go outside of the norm of like what you may like and don't like, or you know, ask for certain things that are outside of the norm, that we would consider norm, that's in an intimate manner, more than likely that person is probably not the person you need to be with, more times than not. And I don't know if Shannon Sharpe learned a lesson. I mean, he seems like a wise individual, but for the guys out there who think that it's cool to be, you know, you see these Instagram models, you see all of these women that you see out in public, or you see people on OnlyFans, for the ones who like to be on OnlyFans or whatever. You think that you can get a hold of that? Hey, if you have a transactional situation and nothing goes awry, kudos to you, but the risk is way too high. I wouldn't do it. That's just me. That's just me if I was single. And I damn sure ain't gonna be doing it because I'm married. But it's just saying, it's like, yo, this stuff is, it's really disappointing at the end of the day. So, two sides of the coin. Hope the Falcons do great. Shannon Sharpe, I don't know. It's kind of a letdown, regardless if it's a shakedown or not. It's like, bro, you can't put yourself in this position, you know, even if it is a shakedown and they just trying to get money out of you. Dog, you in your 50s, man, you need to be falling back and just finding somebody who gonna take care of you, you know, when you get home every night, and just chill. And if you had that before and it fell apart, you can always find it again, man. And if not, it's probably best for you to just not put yourself in this situation, you know what I mean? But hey, what do I know? You know, maybe I'm wrong. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me see. Yeah, they done got my truck unloaded. I am about to get back on this road. Y'all have a blessed one. We're going to talk about the draft and what the Falcons do and everything else under that umbrella. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and the rest of your week. I'll see y'all on the next video. Y'all take it easy. I'm out. Peace.